What's up, traders? Tom and I are here with a very special video for you. We're going to be going over the statistics of my trading over the last few months. Tom's going to be grilling me up with a bunch of questions. So sit back and enjoy today's video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. For those of you who are new, my name is Austin Silver. My associate here, my brother, Tom Jackson, has joined me today. This is going to be a really good video. I'm excited for this, Tom. I know you are as well. But before we get into the video, I got to throw the plug in there. Not only are we hosting a very important webinar coming up at the end of November, but we're also releasing the A2 indicator to the public. Now, the A2 is a new strategy that we've been trading. How long now, Tom? For about a year, we've been working with this thing or so, maybe something 9 months, a year, something like that.
Yeah.
And we finally have a lot of back testing that we're going to be sharing on this webinar. We have rules that we want to get across to everybody, structure, discretion. We're going to be covering a lot. So go to the description, sign up for the webinar. It's at the end of November. If you're watching this video and it's after November, we'll have a replay down below as well, because I want everybody to see this and get the indicator. So that's coming. I know everybody's excited for that. Tom and I have been putting a lot of work into that, so we are excited to share that with you guys too. But Tom, how you feeling, bro? Are you excited for this video? You were like ready for this to turn the table on me, it seemed like, before we started filming.
I am ready for this. Yeah, just because of what we're going to get out of it. I think there's going to be a lot of value to learn for everybody on this, especially heading into that webinar that you've just spoken about as well. Let's try and get into the nuggets of why the A2 is so successful for you.
We're going to talk about that for sure. What are you looking forward to sharing with everybody the most, since you've been putting a lot of work into this A2? What are you looking forward to sharing on that webinar the most, do you think?
Looking forward to potentially sharing the indicator at the end of it. I know there's a lot of people asking about that. So I'm looking forward to explaining a little bit more about what we've been testing. Well over 25,000 trades now across all different variables. So the fact that we've been looking at TDIs, EMAs, volume, you name it, we've been looking at it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing with everybody the hard work that we've put in ultimately.
I love it. I love it. All right, so let's get into it today. We're talking about this win streak that I've been on. A lot of people have been DMing me. It is exciting. You know what I mean? I'm not waiting for it to come to an end, but I'm sure there's people listening and watching that are waiting for it to come to an end. I'm really just trying to take it one trade at a time. I almost took a loss last week, but I kind of squeaked my way out of it by just trusting my stop loss and staying in. S&P ended up working out for me. So where do you want to start, Tom? We have 53 trades total since the middle of July. 45 wins, 85% win rate, 8 losses. Risk reward 1.03. Average win is slightly bigger than the average loss. So that's the general headline for my statistics.
Yeah, I like it. So let's get to the streak then. Let's have a look at the streak. I think.
All right, so we'll look at the tracker.
Let's get in there.
Okay, let me zoom out for a second. So this is the trade tracker, everybody. If you have not seen this before, let me get that a little bit bigger for you. This is what you get when you join the Black Shirt Club. So, of course, Tom and I and James, as coaches in the Black Shirt Club, we use this so everyone can see how it works. And what it does is it tracks your trades in more detail than my FX book or FX Blue. The way that Tom built this is that it tracks the time of day you trade, the days you trade, and more importantly than anything else, honestly, is the entry signal that you trade. Because when you trade with us, we have specific names for rules that are applied into the market, and those rule sets are our strategies. So we have the A1, the A2 is the new one coming, the D1 and the D2. And as you'll see here, most of my trading is A2 entries. With this, we also can track initial risk and how far these trades are going. So you really can pull a lot of data from this. So credit to you, Tom, because you built this thing and it is incredible.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at like from the 28th of September, right?
Right here,
28th of September. You've not had a loser since the 28th of September. I see that you squeezed out that $1 on the US 500 though to keep the streak alive early doors. That was crucial.
I mean, I closed most of that trade for a negative. And at that point, that was only 3 trades in. So like, I'm not thinking about a win streak then. I try not to think about the win streak now, but I'd be lying to you if at the $9 trade, I remember that trade. I was like, let me see if I can just end this trade profitably because I wanted to try to keep this win streak alive. But is that wrong to think? What do you think? Is it wrong to be like, let me try to stick this out, not moving stop losses or adjusting edge, but just not bailing on the trade and just getting out because it's a loser. It's kind of like sticking to your stop and mitigating risk rather than just getting full out, because this turned into profit. And that's why I was able to squeak a profitable trade out of it, you know?
Yeah, so the one thing that I want to ask here is obviously trading is very much, or we try and say that it's very much process orientated. We try and get people to focus on the process rather than the outcome. But now this is clearly the outcome is very, very good. You're now thinking of like win streak. So again, thinking about outcome. How have you throughout this streak managed to stay process orientated? And what part of your process has led to this, do you think?
It's a good question. I think that it's probably the daily report cards. So like with me having to track every single day what ideas I see, what trades I take here in the tracker, that's helped me at the end of the week in the weekly review, go back each day and see what was it that helped me do well this week. For example, if you look at the week 2 weekly report card, I finished up 1.18% that week, had a really good week on my habit score. This weekly report card, like this week in particular with so many trades, that can teach you a lot when you sit down and fill that out. So I feel like that's what's helped me is like, and with that, I'm learning that I trade best with trend. I don't do well with reversals. I noticed that I don't do well trading near the open. So like just studying all of these statistics, like even in here, looking at the trade tracker and looking at the times of my trades here, you don't see in like, just look at this little bunch of them since the end of September. You don't see any 9 o'clocks. Like I'm not trading at or near the open 9:30. It's not there. It's after or it's before. So like that's helped me a lot too. Cause then I don't feel FOMO if I'm not jumping into moves right when markets open at the New York stock market open. So I think that has been a big piece of it too. And to your point about the outcome focused part, I think that in these challenges, so for everybody that's watching, I'm in phase 2 of a 200K challenge. I'm already funded with 100K, but I'm trying to get to 300. In these challenges, you don't want to lose. Like, I just don't want to give back money. So like in that $9 trade, Tom, or in this $1 trade, what one of them was, I don't remember which one. You would remember this too, because you did it. You were with me that day. I took the trade. It went 1R and I just locked my stop at break even and it came right down and stopped me out. That's why one of these is either $1 or $9. So just stupid management there that held me back from just, again, chipping away at these wins. Because look at my size. Like my average win, let's just average it out real quick. But does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, so that's what I was looking at next. Like I was looking at your risk reward to think like you're not risking an awful lot to start with. You can see there that you've got your initial risk of what you're making. What's that? Your biggest one in this 25 win streak or 16 win streak is 0.5.
Yeah, an average of all of my trades, it's 0.2. So my average size is 0.22 and my average gain is 0.31. According to like if you average out my losers with my winners, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if you just go back to the trade summary then and go back from the 28th of, or when did you start phase 2? Let's look at around about the 28th of September.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go to the 28th of September.
Call it, we'll say the 26th.
26th, right. Yeah, that's it. One loser. Perfect.
Yeah.
So let's have a look then. Let's see what stats. 10 out of 10 on your longs in a bearish market. How do you feel about that, first of all?
Well, I think that's really interesting because I haven't looked at these stats in this time frame yet. So that's really interesting considering it is a bear market and my wins are long. That's very interesting. Not a single loss there. But also, I don't like this. Average win is not as big as my average loss. The average loss is much bigger. But that's because this loss, it looks like, since it's one loss and it's 0.5%, that means I put 0.5% on the trade and I lost the full 0.5%. That's what that says to me. And these other trades, I'm piecing myself out. Some of them I'm getting stopped at even. And those aren't super big wins. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like
and
it's here on
that
Tuesday,
one loss that one loss at 0.5 could easily have been an A setup, like the best probability out of all of them trades. And it just loses. Like
it wasn't a setup. It's funny you say that. Look, it wasn't a setup short on Bitcoin, 0.5%.
So you want to be sizing into that one, right?
Right. And then I had to size in the next day. I had to size in a C setup at the same risk, and I made it back end some right there. So you lost 0.5, made 0.63. But since then, I don't think I've put that much size on any trade. Since then, I have not gone 0.5.
Yeah, everything's real. So what about that Bitcoin there? So you risked on line 455, you risked 0.25 and ended up making 0.57. Nice trade there. Big win there.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great one right there where you really put a good chunk on the account. Even the last trade here, putting $500 up on the account. Those are like, I think anything close to $1,000 when you're trading the way I trade, that's a good chunk. You know what I mean? Like this $900 trade right here, it's a good chunk. I'll take a 400. I'll take a 300. They're good wins. When I'm only risking 300, I'm getting my 1R and I'm getting out. This A2 strategy, as you know, it's really, really good for the 1R. This is the trade right here that set up everything different was that last trade on phase one way back in the beginning of September. Look at that, 6.9% gain on that trade with only 0.5% risk because I let that run overnight. You remember?
I do. Yes,
But
I do.
if you minimize that one, right, and you look at the rest of this, again, there's not a lot of 0.5s in here at all. You see that? Not a lot at all. And then the losses, small. The losses are
to show you don't need to be risking 1, 2, 3% on these challenges to get across the line.
Definitely
you just
not.
need to control risk. Let's have a look at some of your other stats then from here. Well, there's not a lot we can say to look to improve on, or there's a lot with a lot of these coaching calls that I go on with the traders that we're working with in the Black Shirt Club. It's always a case of trying to cut out the bad instead of trying to make them take more trades or trying to do anything. It's always, let's just reduce the things that you're doing bad. Obviously we can't have that conversation here because there's not too much to discuss, but previously you'd have had that. What is it that you think you've cut out to get to this point in your trading?
Well, I think first, that's a good question. Yeah, it's Forex pairs, because I was struggling with Forex pairs. And once I stopped trading them because I was studying this and seeing that I was losing there and I was doing really well. I mean, my win rate on Bitcoin has always been over 85%. Like I've always had a really high win rate. I think maybe it dropped to like close to 80, but it's been high. So like that was screaming at me of the do less, do it better, do it bigger. Really, am I wearing that shirt today? Yeah, I am. Look at that. See, Can you see that? So like that was screaming to me of like, what do you need to cut out? Well, it was just Forex pairs. It wasn't anything more of like get more size on these trades, get bigger in those in all of your trades. It didn't need to be like that because I'm finding enough opportunity. It was more like stop doing the things that are costing you money, And now it does bring up the point though, Tom, like what could be done better? I mean, the afternoon trading seems to be working really well, but I'm not trading a lot. It's this part of the day that I'm most curious about. Like I'm doing the most work and I am making a good chunk of my money there, like 3.5% and 1.1%. Like I am making good money there, but especially this time, like 73% win rate, only 1% gain. Is that really worth it? That's where my average loss is bigger than my average win there. You know what I'm saying?
You can treat yourself to a lie-in.
Sleep in? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you can have a sleep in.
Dude, I can't wait to be in the UK. People are going to be saying shit to us when we're walking around the street. I'm going to be like, Tom, what did he say?
Personal translator.
Right, for real.
So,
yeah.
Like you say about not getting bigger though, and your average loss is 0.4%. So you could even double your size. If you wanted to double your percentage gain, you could double your size and still be way under 1% risk overall, which is something to think about maybe down the line and next year from a scaling up perspective.
Right. That's my biggest weakness, I think, is I trade conservatively. I'm not an aggressive like risk taker. Like you've seen James he'll be like 1% on a couple of like after like 2 trades, he's already 1% deep in a week. That's very rare for me to be 1% deep in risk on 2 trades or 3 trades already. You know what I mean? It takes me a couple of trades to get there. So like, I think I'm more conservative than most people when it comes to this stuff, really. But I think that's also in my role as a coach and stuff. It's good for me to be more conservative than not, because then it does give people the opportunity to get more aggressive and to flex that muscle if they have it, But I think I'm looking at this and trying to really see like, what can I cut out and make my life easier without having to lose money? Like, and then what about just days of the week? Like, how about Wednesday? I would only miss 0.9% gain if I just didn't show up Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying? That's not that big of a deal, is it?
No, I think for me, you've hit the nail on the head with the time, like the early mornings. Like you say, you're doing a lot of trading. So even if you come at 8 o'clock, get there for 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Cut out the 4 till 8.
Yeah.
Or even 4 till 7, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of A2s. A2s are your money as well.
84% win rate. And, these trades here, now that we're talking about it, these later in the day things, these could definitely be like the average win of 0.07 over these 2 trades. That tells me, like, again, I do remember it as I'm speaking about it. I trade smaller when I am in the afternoon. I normally use that as an excuse to put a smaller position on. Like if you look at the tracker, I have some of these trades are like 0.1 in the afternoon. There's a couple of them. Look, 0.1, 0.1. And look, they are the evening trades, the later, like 11:15. That's not that evening, but that's later. 0.07, 10:15. Later in the day, look, 11 o'clock, 0.05.
Why? Look at your
stats.
Know. Why?
I know the stats say I should not be doing that. So as we're talking about it, I'm going to not do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. But this is why I need coaching calls, Tom. This is why I'm in the Black Shirt Club. God damn it. That's why you're my coach.
Yeah. Stick with the same size. Look at that. So if you sum up your afternoon as a total percentage gain, it way outweighs your percentage
Morning.
gained in the morning, and you've
Yep.
taken far less trades.
Far less trades. Way less work.
Yeah,
More money.
for more money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting when you break this down. And I feel like what we can do here, and I want to wrap it up because we could linger and talk about this all day, but I want people to see this and not only get excited and maybe want to join the Black Shirt Club, which if you are interested in getting a tracker and being coached by Tom and myself, you can go to the link in the description and book a free call with me. We can hop on. This is not for everybody, right, Tom? That's very clear. This program is not for everybody. You have to have the time commitment that you can give to this, and you have to have the energy and passion for it. There's a lot that we need to make sure it fits. But if you want to be a part of this small group and work with us, we can absolutely fit more people. Enrollment is open right now. So book that call and come see if this would be a good fit. But what I was going to say is that even as coaches, we still have learning. Like we still have growth that we can move into, even when we have a great month, even when we have a great couple of months. Like there's still more growth that can happen. And without a community and without a tracker, that definitely does not happen. Like, could you imagine, Tom, now after having this, trying to go back and trade without it or the community that we've created in the Black Shirt Club? It'd be hard.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right. So no, and I appreciate you, Tom, taking the time out, not only to make the tracker and help everyone and be a coach with me, but just to sit down here and make this video. Because what we're trying to do, everybody, if you've given us the time and you watch this far, we want to really show you what professional trading looks like. There's a lot of people that gamble that make it look like it's something that it's not. And I think what we're trying to do here is cut through that, cut through the fog, and really show you how you can build a business around your trading. It takes work. It takes tracking. It takes accountability. It takes, egoless attitude and open-mindedness every day. But those are characteristics that we're all working on being better at and imploring more. So come join us if you're interested. Book the call, hit the link in the description. Let's hop on the phone and see if you'd be a good fit for you. But Tom, like I said, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much for the time. Everybody, we'll see you in the next video, or we'll see you on the webinar at the end of November. Make sure you guys sign up for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, everybody.